Welcome. This is not just a story, this is not just a biography. This is an emotional journey. This is the life of a man who made the world laugh, but lived in pain for years. This is the story of Jim Carrey, one of the greatest comedians and actors in the history of film, but also one of the most lonely, broken, and misunderstood human beings off-screen. In this video, you will learn more than just the timeline of his life. You will learn what true suffering looks like, what real dedication feels like, what it takes to keep going when everything is falling apart. You will learn how a boy from a broken poor Canadian family who once lived in a van became one of the most famous and highest paid actors in the world, not by luck, but by relentless belief, mental training, and emotional strength. This video will help you learn powerful life lessons from Jim Carrey's real story, understand how to handle failure, depression, rejection, and identity crisis. Improve your English by listening to easy, clear storytelling in a real, emotional way. Train your brain to think clearly, feel deeply, and express powerfully in English. Because this story is told in simple, slow, clear English, it is perfect for English beginners and learners who want to improve their vocabulary, understanding, and listening power while feeling something real. So sit back, listen carefully, feel everything, and get ready for a journey that might change your life. Part 1. The Boy Who Couldn't Afford to Dream. Jim Carrey's Childhood and Family Pain. Jim Carrey was born on January 17, 1962, in a small town called Newmarket in Ontario, Canada. His full name is James Eugene Carrey. He was the youngest of 4 children in a lower middle-class family. His father, Percy Carrey, was a musician and accountant. His mother, Kathleen Carrey, was a homemaker who suffered from chronic illness and depression. From the outside, it looked like a normal family, but inside that house, there was a lot of emotional pain. His father was a talented saxophone player. He had dreams of becoming a professional jazz musician, but he gave up those dreams to support his family. He worked as an accountant. Even though Percy was funny, full of character, and talented, he never truly lived his dreams. This made a deep impression on young Jim. Jim once said something powerful about his father. "My father could have been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that was possible for him. So he made a safe choice. Instead, he became an accountant. And when I was 12 years old, he was let go from that safe job. That taught me something. You can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love." That idea of taking a chance on your dream came from watching his father fail at the safe path. When Jim was around 12 years old, everything collapsed. His father lost his job, and suddenly the family had no money. They went from living a simple but okay life to being homeless. Yes, Jim Carrey, the man who became a Hollywood star, was once homeless. The family had to live in a van for several months. Not a trailer, a van. They parked it near a relative's home. Sometimes they stayed in tents. There were no showers, no comfort, and no privacy. Jim and his brother worked as janitors at a factory to help their family survive. They would go to school during the day and clean toilets and floors at night. He was just a boy, but he didn't have the luxury to just be a kid. This was not a funny life. It was hard, dirty, and emotionally crushing. Jim started to develop anger, pain, and a deep need to escape. But he didn't escape with drugs or violence. He escaped with something else. While the outside world was difficult and painful, Jim discovered that inside himself there was a strange kind of magic. He could make people laugh. He started doing funny faces, voices, and impressions. First for his sick mother, who was often depressed and lying in bed. She was his first audience. He would walk into her room and suddenly become someone else, a silly character, a monster, a news anchor, a politician. His mother would smile, then laugh harder. For a few minutes, her pain would disappear. Jim realized something powerful. If I can make her laugh, maybe I can make the world laugh. Maybe that's my superpower. At school, Jim was awkward. But he had one weapon. He could be anyone. He would stand in front of his class and do full comedy performances, even as a teenager. Teachers didn't know how to handle him. Some punished him. Others allowed him to perform at the end of class if he behaved during lessons. He started writing letters to the Carol Burnett Show, a famous comedy program, saying he wanted to be on their show. He was a dreamer, even when reality was hell. At age 15, Jim Carrey tried his first real stand-up performance at a comedy club in Toronto. It was a disaster. He froze on stage, he forgot his lines, nobody laughed, he was humiliated. He walked off stage feeling like he had no talent at all. But that's when something important happened. Instead of quitting, he went back the next week. Then the next. Then the next. He started adjusting his performance, learning timing, studying great comedians, practicing new voices, new jokes, new ways to move his body. He failed. He failed again. Then, slowly, he started to win. By age 17, he dropped out of school to become a full-time comedian. His family supported him, especially his father, who drove him to every comedy club gig. Imagine that. The same man who gave up his own dream was now helping his son chase his. This is one of the most famous moments in Jim Carrey's early life. In 1985, Jim was still struggling. He was doing comedy clubs, working hard, but not famous yet. One day, he drove up to Mulholland Drive, a beautiful hilltop in Los Angeles where rich people lived. He sat there, looking at the city lights below, and did something strange but powerful. He took out his checkbook, wrote himself a fake check for $10 million, and dated it for Thanksgiving 1995. He wrote in the memo, "For acting services rendered." He kept that check in his wallet for years. Every time he felt like giving up, he looked at it. And guess what? In 1994, 1 year before his deadline, he got paid $10 million for a movie called Dumb and Dumber. After years of struggle on stage, driving to small comedy clubs with his father, doing weird voices and characters in front of tiny audiences, Jim Carrey finally caught the attention of people in the television and film industry. At this time, he was still in Canada, but he had now started performing regularly in the United States. He was becoming known for his wild energy, elastic face, and unbelievable impressions. Nobody had ever seen someone like him before. He didn't just tell jokes. He became different people on stage. His face could twist and stretch like rubber. His body moved like a cartoon character. He had the timing of a master and the courage of a madman. Producers began to take notice. In 1984, Jim Carrey finally got his first leading role in a television series called The Duck Factory.